The Senate just passed a Republican budget plan that's both comical and has a 0% chance of being signed into law by Obama. So in reality, what they did is they just wasted time. The plan, quote, would cut spending by $5.1 trillion over 10 years, but it would raise military funding and repeal Obamacare. I can't deal with them, man. I can't deal with them. They're just so stupid. Why would you pass that? You know he's not going to sign it. You know you're wasting time. It passed 52-46 during a 15-hour marathon session. They spent 15 hours on this piece of shit bill that Obama's going to use for toilet paper and throw it back in their fucking faces. What are you doing? What are you doing? We pay these sons of bitches to do this shit. They get paid with our tax dollars. They work half the fucking year, and when they're there, they're doing shit like this, which isn't even really work because they're wasting our time. It was a 15-hour marathon session before the Easter recess. Quote, it gives Republicans another crack at repealing the Affordable Care Act, probably through a process known as reconciliation, and increases defense spending while slashing funds in other areas, including education and health care. This party is a national embarrassment. You're going to cut $5.1 trillion over 10 years. $5.1 trillion. $5.1 trillion. But none of the cuts are in the area where we can most afford to cut the defense budget. Oh my God, man. The entire party is just 100% sold out to moneyed interests. Whether it's Wall Street, whether it's billionaires, whether it's the defense contractors. And this is the perfect example of it right here. So education needs to be cut. Healthcare needs to be cut. We need to repeal Obamacare, cut the social safety net to the fucking bone. But who needs more money? The assholes that make F-16s, the assholes that make Humvees, the assholes that make armored vests and machine guns and laser-guided missiles. That's where they look at a system where 57% of our discretionary spending goes to the military, and what do they say? Increase that. Increase that while cutting $5.1 trillion in other areas. How do you look at our military spending and say, you know, that's not enough. I'm not sure I really agree with that. I think we should go up. We spend more than the next dozen nations or more combined. Our military is bigger than the next biggest dozen nations combined. And by the way, most of those nations are our ally. What are we doing wasting this money, man? But see, it's not really about actually taking care of threats, existential threats to the United States of America. What it's really about is a massive jobs program that largely goes into the pockets of the rich and the well-connected. That's what it is. Our welfare in America is warfare. You guys have heard me say that before, but it's totally true. I mean, the welfare in other nations, the welfare in Scandinavia is, oh, let's have universal college for everybody, free of charge. Let's have universal health care for everybody, free of charge. Let's give everybody 6 weeks paid vacation by law. Let's have jobs programs for people that doesn't involve building weapons of death. But our welfare is, let's cut like food stamps and cut all the stuff that helps single working mothers and increase funding to the people who are making the laser-guided missiles. Did you know that the U.S. military is the number one employer in the world? In the world. More employees than anybody else you can name. Walmart. They obviously are known to have a gigantic company. McDonald's. You name it. It's the biggest by far. What a joke this is, man. What do we have? 900 military bases around the world in over 100 countries, and these idiots look at that and go, "Spend more." Yeah, that's not enough. While you cut everything else in sight, and there's no way that this is going to get signed. You do know what a veto is, right, dipshits? You wasted 15 hours on this. The second Obama looks at it, here's what he's going to do. Veto. Bitch. Here. Don't give me something that's a national embarrassment. Come back when you have something that makes even a little bit of sense. Even a little bit of sense. These guys are a waste, man. And the American people need to wake up to this. That one of the two parties, the Democrats are no prize. In fact, they suck in many ways, okay? They've also sold out to corporations and the establishment, and they don't do all the shit that they say they're going to do, and the list goes on and on. They're weak, you name it. But these guys, the Republicans, they really are like a parody of themselves. How do you cut $5.1 trillion, but you increase defense spending when the number one thing that could be cut in half is defense spending? I could find trillions of dollars in savings over a decade in defense spending, and with those cuts, we'd still have the number one military in the world by far. But see, going down that road would actually make sense, and it would require intelligent priorities, and the Republicans are on the record as being against that.